Hello all, it's James Johnson, aka Sulfur Blade, and I wish that this video was being made under better circumstances, but the voter fraud's complete. Joe Biden has suddenly pulled ahead of Donald Trump at the very last second in Michigan, and now with Michigan and Wisconsin both mysteriously pulling ahead at the very last hour, Joe Biden has, for all intents and purposes, won this election, as he will have 270 electoral votes, which gives him the presidency. And I'm having a hard time swallowing this, if I have to be frankly honest. The fact that both of these states were lost by a very narrow margin at the very end by a batch of mysterious absentee ballots coming in from a major city center leaves me highly suspicious about this election and whether or not there was or was not voter fraud. At this point, I think it would be nice to think that it wasn't voter fraud, but if who am I fooling? I think it's voter fraud. My gut tells me deep down that it's voter fraud. We knew going into this election that these absentee ballots were going to be nothing if problematic, and here we are at the 11th hour with absentee ballots deciding the most important races at very narrow margins to barely give Joe Biden the victory. It feels really fucking shady. I'm not sure what we can do about this. I know Donald Trump wants to go to the Supreme Court about it, and I don't know what he's going to argue. I guess you would have to argue the legality of the absentee ballots, in which case, how do we separate the legit absentee ballots that were legitly requested to the absentee ballots that weren't requested, that were just, unrequested absentee ballots? I'm not sure. I don't know what Trump would argue in front of the Supreme Court, to be honest. But I think that's the only shot that's left at this point, because obviously we've lost the actual election at this point. It doesn't matter what the rest of the votes are counted. With Wisconsin and Michigan, that makes it 270. So I know they haven't officially called the election. I know Joe Biden hasn't given a speech saying that, how happy he is to win yet. And I know Donald Trump hasn't given a concession speech. I know we haven't heard anything from either of the major candidates saying this race is over, and I know the election itself hasn't technically been called by anyone official. But the fact is, it's over. Michigan is called at this point. There's not really, it's 94% reporting. And Biden's ahead. If you look at it when we pull it up via New York Times, I think they say something along the lines of 90% of the estimated total vote has been reported, yada yada. When you look at the Wisconsin one, they basically say that they believe 100% of the vote has been cast. They believe Wisconsin's pretty much over, even though nobody's actually officially called Wisconsin at this point. It's all but over. Here, Biden pulled ahead in Michigan as another batch of votes rolled in from Wayne County, where Detroit is located. The heavily Democratic area is currently reporting about 70% of its returns. See Michigan results, blah, 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 blah. That's it. I guess anything else I say is pointless. Anyway, I'm James Johnson, aka Sulfur Blade. Was this voter fraud? I don't know. Was this legit? I don't know that either. I do know that changing the way our voting process works at the last minute and heavily putting so much stock into these these unrequested absentee ballots has certainly made it feel like these elections were certainly stolen. Anyway, I'm James Johnson, aka Sulfurblade. This is my content. Hopefully you're enjoying it. If so, please leave a like and subscribe. And until the next time, peace.